There's no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. Welcome back to Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. A little rain shower slowed up the start of this game, a rain delay. That'll be roughly about 30 minutes, but we're ready for baseball. Skies have cleared. And when we take you through the timeline of this Lone Star Series since the Astros joined the AL West, in the very beginning, the news wasn't so good for the Astros. The Rangers were 20-3 in the first 23 games, almost outscoring the Astros 2-1. But then it turned around. The Astros won the 2014 Silver Boot, winning 10 of the next 12 games. And then the Rangers took control again. Back-to-back AL West champs. They went 31-10 in 2015 and 16, and then the Astros turned things around. Last year, World Series champions, division winners, 18-11 in the regular season against the Texas Rangers. With more on the Lone Star Series and the players' reactions to playing the Rangers, here's Julia Morales.
Hey, thank you so much, TK. Yeah, let's talk more about this Silver Boot, because if they win all four this weekend, it is theirs for the taking. And like you were saying, the Texas Rangers had it in their possession for so many of the last 17 years, 12 in fact. And this series actually became really fun to watch here in the last couple of years. And it may be more fun and silly to talk about a Silver Boot, but in all reality, this Astros team knew coming into really 2015 that if they wanted to take a division, they were going to have to come through Texas. They were the team that had the division titles back then, but we really saw a shift in the way the Astros were playing, not just the Texas Rangers in general, but at this ballpark. They had played some really tough ball games here, lost some really tough games. The guys who were on this team since 2013 certainly remember some of those games, some of those series. You're looking at just the flip in the numbers from 2013 to 2016, and then since, of course, a really talented team we saw in 2017. But like I said, guys, it began with them just wanting to take the division. They wanted to take it from the Texas Rangers, and so we saw that competitive level really change. And for George Springer and some of these other guys who I talked to about this, they take a lot of pride in playing at this ballpark, playing well at this ballpark. They are so glad to put the past in the past, but now that division title is going to come through Houston, and that's what it's all about. But also, the team has changed over the last couple of years, guys, and it did certainly in 2017. Some new faces who don't really remember the rough times against the Texas Rangers. They had a clean slate coming in, and that's really helped with their success.
Yeah, that's a good thing. If it was a dangerous past, it's better not to remember it, as the Astros have it, and they really took it to the Rangers last year. They're off to a 6-4 start this year, and here's how Jose Altuve and the rest of the Astros starting lineup looks like tonight, presented by Southwest Airlines. George Springer will lead things off against the Rangers, followed by Alex Bregman. Altuve will hit third. No Carlos Correa in the lineup tonight. A little bit of a strain on his side. More on that as the game progresses. Yuli Gurriel, Evan Gattis, the 4 or 5 hitters. Marwin Gonzalez plays shortstop tonight. Max Stassi behind the plate batting 7th. Tony Kemp gets the start against the lefty. He's in left field. And Jake Marisnick in center, batting 9th.
Cole Hamels going for the Texas Rangers, another left-handed pitchers that these Astros are going to go up against, and the Astros have been pretty good against left-handed pitching. The record isn't very good for Cole Hamels, 3-5 in 72 innings. He struck out 74. He has 3 starts and been very good against these Houston Astros. He is 1-1 with that 2.55, but in 6 home starts, he is 1-4 with a 4.66.
Every time the Astros have played the Rangers this year, Cole Hamels has pitched in that series, and he starts off George Springer with a strike. Astros starting the day 1 game behind the Seattle Mariners in the American League West. This will be the longest road trip of the year for the Houston Astros. 10 games over an 11-day span with an off day on Monday. 1-1 pitch misses inside. It's 2-1.
Can't believe Springer hasn't gone deep off Cole yet.
Well, there's a history. Already 2 leadoff home runs against Hamels this year. Cole finally was able to not allow a home run the last time they met. But he's behind 3-1. George started this season like last year, hitting a home run as the first Astros batter of the season. This year came here in Arlington against Hamels.
Oh, Tried to go deep there. Might have another opportunity. It's interesting to see Cole Hamels get up to 94 when he needs to. Averaging on the season 91 miles an hour on that fastball.
Hamels has kind of changed his style and striking out some guys this year. Well, that one's low, ball 4. So his frustration against Springer continues as George, a leadoff base runner, to start this game, to start this series. Rangers starting defense is presented by Xfinity. New name in center field tonight. It's a name we've seen elsewhere, but not in center. Joey Gallo, his second career start in center field. Shin-Soo Choo gets a start in left, and Nomar Mazara in right. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Jurickson Profar the left side of the infield. Rougned Odor and Ronald Guzman the right side. Carlos Perez gets his first start behind the dish with Cole Hamels on the mound. Hamels' first dozen starts were all with Robinson Chirinos as Alex Bregman takes a strike. One and one the count to Bregman.
Todd was talking about how Cole Hamels has pretty much reinvented himself in the last couple of years. It's been because of that cut fastball early on in his career. And for a long time, he was fastball, changeup primarily, a little bit of a curveball mixed in there. But there's that cut fastball. He'll throw it 88 to 90 miles an hour. And what that does, it really gets in on the hands of right-handed hitters and opens up that outside portion of the plate for the changeup. And I think in these starts that we've seen him pitch against the Houston Astros, it has been that cut fastball in, changeups away, and it's tough to cover the entire inside and outside portions of the plate. Last 7 games have been good for Cole Hamels, keeping left-handed hitters down to a 207. That's a stark difference from that 389 to start things out.
A little hesitation in that delivery home, and Bregman pops it up. Perez, the catcher, makes the play in foul territory, and Alex is retired for the first out. So 1 out, Springer on first base, and that'll bring up Jose Altuve. Altuve brings some serious road credentials to the plate to start this longest road trip of the year. 402 batting average, leads the American League, and also 1017 OPS, good for 5th, although ground one to short here. Profar to Odor. Odor turns the double play. On 1 pitch to Altuve, the Rangers get a double play to end the inning. We had the bottom half of the first scoreless. Tonight for the Astros.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Garrett Cole situation. Just sounds a little bit better coming out of the mouth. 6-1 record for Garrett Cole. 12 starts this season. That whip is amazing. Well under 1 at a .83. And again, the 116 strikeouts in 81 2/3 innings pitched. And on that bottom line, that'll let you know that he is the American League leader in strikeouts. Those are all the standards, but all the peripherals on Garrett Cole say that he is having a tremendous start to this season.
Facing a team he's had a lot of success against, the Texas Rangers. He'll face Shin-Soo Choo to lead things off, followed by Jurickson Profar, Nomar Mazara, the first 3. Adrian Beltre DHs tonight. Joey Gallo in center field, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Rougned Odor, Ronald Guzman, and Carlos Perez round out the lineup for Jeff Bannister. Choo had a 12-game hitting streak snap last night, but still has reached base in 22 consecutive games, hitting .309 during that stretch. And has walked 21 times to just 24 strikeouts. Pitch misses, it's 1-1. Cole makes his 13th start of the season for the Astros. He has had double-digit strikeouts 5 times, including twice in his 2 starts against the Texas Rangers. Down, it's 2-2.
Cole's primarily that fastball, the traditional curveball you just saw, that last pitch to Shin-Soo Choo. He also has that slider. Changeup shows up every once in a while. But he's primarily that fastball up, curveball down. Averaging 96.2 miles an hour on the fastball. 4th best in all of Major League Baseball as far as starting pitchers are concerned with velo.
Last inning he pitched in his last start. We saw Hundo.
Yeah, he reached back and got some.
Chu fouls one back. Chu can be a menace at the plate. He can give you a long at bat to start the game. A little different than the leadoff hitter we saw for the Mariners, D. Gordon. One of the fewest pitches per plate appearance you'll see for a leadoff hitter, not just this year, but for any year. Chu quite the opposite. He'll battle. Another foul ball over the Astros dugout.
Getting closer.
To us or to what? The field?
To Hundo. Last 2 pitches were 98 and 99 that last pitch.
Ooh.
First inning, he's feeling it. He's got to be pretty happy that a little bit of that rainstorm came through. It cooled things off big time here in Arlington.
It was pretty toasty. No batting practice for the Rangers, just optional for the Astros today. As Cole misses up to Chu, who draws another walk. 77 degrees at game time. It was in the low 90s during batting practice. Here's Jurickson Profar. Last time we saw the Rangers was following the injuries to both their middle infielders. Odor is back now. He was back towards that Astros series, but Elvis Andrus still out. And we said it would be an opportunity for Jurickson Profar to see what he can do playing every day. Last night he had a big game, 3 for 4 with a couple of home runs, and he grounds a single past Altuve into right field. That'll send Chu to third base, and the Rangers have runners on the corners to start this game.
Well, after a walk to Shin-Soo Choo for a pretty good at bat, Jurickson Profar is not wasting any time. M.D. Anderson shows you the curveball coming in at 83 miles an hour, also being left right out over the middle part of the plate. Beats that shift, hitting it in between Marwin Gonzalez and Jose Altuve.
Now runners on the corners for Nomar Mazara. Mazara, the leader in RBIs on this team with 39. See his numbers against Cole for 6th. 3 of those strikeouts, and he swings through a fastball for strike 1. Cole making his 3rd start of the year against the Rangers. He also pitched against them 5 years ago as a member of the Pirates in 2013. All 3 of his starts against Texas, he's gone exactly 7 innings. Two starts this year have been dominant. 5 hits in 14 innings and 25 strikeouts.
Might be why you see some of these early hitters being aggressive early. Don't want to get to those 2-strike counts where you find a lot of Ranger hitters swinging and missing.
He's ahead of Mazara, 0-2. Infield back, so Cole wouldn't mind a strikeout here. Called 3rd strike. Got him with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Garrett Cole picks up his 1st strikeout as Mazara goes down looking.
Great pitch, great location too. That's where Max Stassi wanted it. And in 2-strike counts, you can locate 98 on the inside corner. You're going to tie guys up big time. There's no way to react to that.
Beautiful pitch by Garrett Cole in a big spot. Here's Adrian Beltre. Beltre has not struck out much against Cole, but he is 0 for 8. Astros looking for 2 with the infield back. We have seen a lot of Astros double plays on the offensive end. It wouldn't be a bad thing to see one on the other side.
Yeah, I'd like to see the favor returned a little bit. 55 double plays against the Houston Astros, I guess.
Now he's ahead of Beltre 0-2 and just throwing gas at 98.
It is more fun to watch the strikeout.
Garrett Cole's dialing it up early, as you said.
Seems a little ornery after letting the first two guys get on.
Into center field, fairly shallow, coming on Jake, still coming, diving attempt, and he can't get there. A little bloop hit, scores a run. Rangers lead at 1-0 on the RBI by Beltre, his 15th of the year, and number 1657 of his incredible career.
Elevated fastball at 99. He does a good job of staying off the barrel, and Mattress Firm Supermo is going to show you just how it was barely out of the reach of Jake Marisnick. And you know what, for me, it was the swing. We talk about it all the time. The first initial reaction when you're standing good 200, 250 feet away from home plate is to react to the swing. It's tough to pick up the contact immediately. And by the time Jake figured out that it wasn't hit that hard, he had no chance to come in and make that play.
Big swing by Joey Gallo, no contact. It's 0-1. Yeah, you're right. That's straightaway center field, a tough spot on the big swing.
Now Adrian's going to get jammed, but in center field, you don't see that. You just see a big man taking a big swing.
Garrett took a stare in there after that pitch was called a ball. He wanted that one. It's 1-1 to Gallo. Gallo leads the majors in strikeouts, and in his matchups with Garrett Cole, he has 4 strikeouts and 2 home runs and 6 at-bats. Now Cole ahead 1-2. Cole was able to strike out Nomar Mazara, then got ahead of Beltre 0-2, but a little pop single into center field has scored the Rangers' first run. Cole started his first game as a member of the Astros back here at Globe Life Park in Arlington on April 1st. The only run he allowed in that game was an opposite field solo home run by Joey Gallo. It's 2 hits, 1 run, and 11 strikeouts in that Astros debut. Doesn't get a chase there. And the count's 2-2.
Pretty good amount of pitches in the vicinity of the strike zone. We've seen some good breaking balls from Garrett Cole not get called here early on.
You saw why he was frustrated with pitch number 2 being called a ball.
Yep.
That one was fully in the zone, but DJ Rayburn didn't think so. Home plate umpire tonight.
You do have to be careful with Joey Gallo, but with 2 strikes, the numbers definitely favor the pitcher.
Called third strike. Breaking ball catches the corner as he puts the slider on the edge. And Gallo goes down looking for out number 2.
Well, you got to love the intensity of Garrett Cole not getting some of these calls. So you know what he decided to do? He decided to go out there and get better and threw an absolutely filthy backdoor slider to get the strikeout.
Major league average with runners in scoring position is a 21% strikeout rate. Garrett Cole, when he has runners in scoring position, is at 46.7. Has 2 of them in this inning with runners in scoring position. Overall, his K rate is 36.7. That ramps up 10 percentage points when he gets a runner to second or third. Now just trying to get out of the inning, facing Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and gets a strike on the edge. It's 1-1. Kiner-Falefa has made the most of his opportunity. Called up during those injuries to the middle infielders, and now he's playing third base tonight with Beltre DHing. He's down in the count to Cole, 1-2. A leadoff walk to Chu is the one batter that Cole will regret at the end of this inning. He gave up a ground ball single to Profar, a pop fly single to Beltre, and struck out Mazara and Gallo. Swing and a miss at the high fastball, 99 to end the first inning. Garrett Cole allows a couple of hits and a run, and the Astros trail 1-0.
I hope you're following us already at ATT Sportsnet SW. If not, let's get on that. And then you can vote in our poll. Which team do you now consider to be the Astros' biggest long-term American League rival? So is it the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees, or is it the Texas Rangers? Vote. We'll let you know who wins later in the broadcast. TK.
All right, Julia, second inning. Astros down 1-0. Yuli Gurriel will lead things off against Cole Hamels. Takes a strike. Yuli starts the night with a 12-game hitting streak. That's his career best, and also with Shin-Soo Choo having his 12-gamer stop last night. Now the longest active streak in the major leagues. Yuli has had his issues with Cole Hamels. He's just 1 for 11 against this Rangers left-hander.
And I believe it's a changeup. Yuli has a tough time with that pitch.
Inside is 2-2. Yuli batting in the cleanup spot tonight. Carlos Correa on the mend after leaving the game last night against the Mariners. As Yuli pops one into shallow right, back goes Odor, and he makes the play for the first out. Gattis due up with more on Carlos Correa. Julia Morales had a chance to catch up with Carlos before the game. What's the latest?
Yeah, he felt a sensation, guys, in his side after that swing in the 7th inning, so he stayed back. He saw the team doctors. He joined the team today around 5 o'clock. Said the MRI showed nothing, and getting some great news from the doctor. Correa said he said just be something a couple of days can fix. He'd love to be in there tonight. Going to take today off and test it out tomorrow. But great news is great news, TK.
Hanging out with his boys from the HEB commercial right there. George Springer and Jose Altuve. Blummer is somebody who's dealt with an oblique. That's great news.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's huge news. Because they're going to go in there and MRI that thing and investigate as much as they can. Because those obliques, if you don't treat them immediately, when you start feeling that twinge and it gets worse, you're going to be out for a lot longer than you anticipate. So hopefully just a couple of days for Carlos. Yeah, I completely shredded my left side. And I didn't know you had 2 obliques that overlapped until I tore both of them in 2012.
Ugh. Just cringe thinking about what that felt like.
Yeah, it was not good. I was taking batting practice right-handed, and at contact I felt a pop like in my left rib cage, and as I released through the swing to finish it, I could feel it tearing up my side, up underneath my armpit. It was awesome.
Oh. 1-2 pitch to Evan Gattis, sent in the air to center field. First chance for Joey Gallo, and he has no problem with it. Big man in center field tonight for the Rangers. Just the second career start, made one back in 2015 in center.
It's like riding a bike then, right? From 3 years ago.
Normally you don't see 6'5", 230 roaming center field.
Yeah, that's a massive human. His range is more due to his body than his speed.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin getting a chance to start tonight as Correa's on the mend. And to Blummer's point, with a couple of days, the Astros are going to be really cautious because it's better to err certainly on the side of 1 extra day rest or too many days rest for Carlos Correa than it would be the other way around. So whether we see him tomorrow or not, we'll have to find out. But might be a couple days. There's a ground ball to third. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with the play, and the Astros down 1-2-3 in the second.
dog gets soda, also popcorn, all for just $20. Visit Astros.com/ballpark bundle for tickets and info. TK.
All right, Julia, bottom half of the second inning, Garrett Cole needed 26 pitches to get through the first. He's already thrown more pitches than Cole Hamels, who was through 2 innings with 22 pitches. He'll face the bottom third of the Rangers lineup, Rougned Odor, Ronald Guzman, and Carlos Perez. Starts him off with a breaking ball, and Cole with a little extra look in there. He does not feel like he's getting the edges tonight from DJ Rayburn.
Well, he's definitely not getting the curveball called. Saw a couple of that first inning, even though he had 3 punch outs, he's still didn't get any of those curveballs really down the zone.
Second pitch is popped high in the air. Marwin and Altuve converge. It'll be Altuve as they play a little bit like the Rangers do with Beltre and Andrews here, where Marwin was there just in case. But when Altuve's on the field,
yep, Kelly Leak.
His ball. Correa doesn't even approach the pop-ups. Marwin's getting a chance to play shortstop tonight. He said, you know what? It's all mine.
Yeah, Marwin doesn't have a chance to mess with Altuve all that much because he's spent a lot of time in left field. Yeah. So encroaching on his space, which could be anything on the right side of the field.
Here's Ronald Guzman taking a pitch outside for ball 1. Guzman made his big league debut against the Astros on April 13th. Had a nice series at Minute Maid Park, including his first big league home run in game 2 on the 14th. The 13th was also the last time Garrett Cole matched up with Cole Hamels. That was a game the Astros won 3-2. There's a good breaking ball for a called strike. It's 1-2 on Guzman.
Got it out of that blind spot.
Fouled at the plate, stays 2-2. If you're just joining us, we're only in the second inning because of a little rain delay at the start. Supposed to be 7:05 first pitch, ended up being right around 7:45. Guzman just starting to find his power here at the big league level. He's a big guy, but didn't hit a whole lot of home runs at the minor league level, but has 7 this year since the call-up. And he sends one high and deep to center field, sending Jake Marisnick all the way back at the track, and Jake in front of the wall makes the play. About 400 feet from home plate. So a pop-up and a deep fly ball, and now Garrett Cole will face Carlos Perez.
Cole knows he got away with one. See him behind the mound when he got the baseball back. He kind of gripped that curveball grip and told himself, get extended with that, finish that pitch.
Here's a high pop fly into right field. George is surveying the stands, and it will drift into the stands. George looks up and knows that that wind may have helped blow that just beyond his reach. Hard to tell where the wind's blowing all the time. It's not necessarily where the flags blow here at Globe Life Park.
Yeah, we were noticing when we had a chance before the game, the wind flags up at the top of the stadium blowing straight in to home plate. Yet on the field, we saw the national anthem singers. It looked like the wind was, they were facing the stands, and it looked like as if it was blowing into their face. Not quite to the extent that Candlestick would play, but still a little concerning when that ball gets up in the air for these fielders.
Cole ahead of Perez, 0-2. Garrett with 3 strikeouts in the first inning, and he'll have none in this inning as Jake Marisnick goes deep again to center field, this time in front of the warning track, makes the play for the final out.
Moment later in tonight's game.
Third inning baseball. Astros trailing the Rangers in the first of this 4-game series, 1-0. Cole Hamels, who last pitched one-hit baseball against Houston at Minute Maid Park in his last start against the Astros on May the 11th. Off to a quick start tonight and a leadoff walk to George Springer. That was a race on a double play off the bat of Altuve, and he has retired everybody else. Now facing the bottom third of the order, Max Stassi for a while there had numbers that were off the charts, over 500 against left-hand pitching. That's come down a little bit, but still overall in the year a solid 400 against lefties. And he's got a 2-0 count against Cole Hamels. Hamels 13 start overall, 4 of those 13 against the Astros. Hold the string on Stassi, it's 2-1. Max had a 7-game hitting streak prior to this current 0 for 13 he's in right now. And Hamels frustrated with himself. It's now 3-1.
Yeah, he was going to let the whole stadium know he wasn't happy about where that changeup was located.
Still searching for it a little bit with that leadoff walk now behind the leadoff hitter in the third. And a breaking ball for a strike. Stassi said, when I was catching, I didn't think that was a strike. Garrett Cole's had a couple in that range that were not called strikes. Max stays alive at 3-2.
It's heavy on the off speed. Even in those hitters counts. That's a guy who's been out on that mound for a very long time, throwing some very good secondary pitches.
Inside, ball 4, second walk issued by Hamels, both times to lead off an inning. Max Stassi on first base.
The Shutterbox spotlight is going to fall on Tony Kemp. 3 hits last night is the 3rd time in his career. He's done it twice against these Texas Rangers. But Tony Kemp has done a very good job since his recall. And again, the mentality and the ability for him to go out there and be an important part of this bottom part of the lineup. Talking to Steve Sparks on the bus coming over, talking about how he's been important down here. And man, oh man.
Another double play. Kemp hits one right to Ronald Guzman, who starts the 3-6-3 double play. The Astros hitting into 2 so far in the first 3 innings. They hit into 5 in the series against the Mariners in 2 games.
And that is now 56 double plays they've hit into. They have sole possession of 3rd place in the major leagues. The only way you're going to be able to turn a double play on Tony Kemp is to hit it to the corners. And he did, and Guzman and Profar made a great turn out of it to erase a couple of runners. Unbelievable.
They are moving up with a bullet in that category.
Yeah, the only person happy about all these double plays that the Astros are hitting is Rob Manfred. Speeds up the pace of the game when you're making 2 outs with 1 swing.
Good news is the Astros are getting base runners on. The bad news is they're not sticking around.
I'm not sure if you like that that glass half full or not, Todd.
Seattle series 5th, 6th, and 7th inning in the game on Tuesday. 5th and 6th inning last night. And so far today, 1st and 3rd inning. Jake bats with a count of 2-1. Last time Jake was in town, he made 2 starts and hit a home run in each of them. See if being back in Arlington will get that swing going. Jake's hit a little bit better lately, 222 his last 10 games, but overall coming in at 161. Almost hits him on the pitch down and in. It's 3-2. And for a guy who is a little frustrated with his command early on in this game, Cole Hamels has a chance to get through 3 innings, facing the minimum. 2 walks, both wiped out with double plays. And a called 3rd strike there ends the inning. Hamels picks up his first strikeout, and we head to the bottom of the 3rd, and the Rangers lead 1-0.
First time he's pitched on this mound since April 1st. course, that was his first start as a Houston Astro to start the regular season for him. It was 4 days into the season. Remember, he was the fourth starter in this rotation. Had to wait a little more than he was used to, as he had been the opening day starter for the Pirates for years before that. But came out and dominated the Texas Rangers. Had a little nerves going too, being in that new uniform for the first time. And AJ Hinch told me for today's game, looking back on that, it wasn't that long ago, but we've seen Garrett Cole dominate so many teams since that day and really set a tone for his season when he pitched against this team. Fastball was working for him then, but the breaking ball was so good that day. And like AJ said, first impression when it comes to that, it was a great one.
Yeah, hard not to be impressed. And even going back further than that, watching him in West Palm Beach this spring, it was an eye-opener watching his stuff and just how easy the ball comes out of his hand.
Well, going back to that first start as Chu shoots one back up the middle to get on base, is that we saw that outing from him and we were like, man, wouldn't it be great to have Garrett Cole be like this every single night? He's been pretty much that guy throughout the season. It's been pretty impressive.
After that base hit by Chu, Cole just stared off into the distance for a solid 8 to 10 seconds. I think he is pretty frustrated right now with what's happened.
Yeah, I think he is too. He's not happy with some of the command in the zone. He's a guy who pitches in the zone frequently, but I think at the same time he makes quality pitches in the zone, and we haven't seen that here on some of these hits and some of the swings these guys are taking against him.
Comebacker that was just beyond his grasp, and then just a stare off to nowhere. That was the tail end of it. It was a long one.
Yeah, that was excessive.
There's a little check swing, but it tipped the bat, so a foul tip caught by Stassi for their second strike. Well, focus Garrett Cole is usually what we see, and tonight he may be a little more amped up than usual. We've seen 98, 99 on occasion. Sometimes we don't see those velocities until the last inning of his outing. Normally he's around 96. There's a pop-up on the infield. Alex Bregman moves over towards the line. Puts it away for out number one. Profar, who singled his first time up, pops up for out number one.
Strikeout percentages. Max Scherzer is a guy that we hear talked about a lot when he's getting swings and misses. Garrett Cole up there. Todd mentioned that number earlier, 38%. 4% ahead of the next closest guy in Chris Sale in Texas. They now have 618 strikeouts. That was coming into today. So these guys are susceptible to the swing and miss. And we talked about the two previous starts that Garrett Cole had. 25 total strikeouts. So he had one game of 11 strikeouts, another game of 14.
First pitch to Mazzara misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. 14 remained his career high for about 3 weeks. Then he pitched against the Diamondbacks in his first start of May and struck out 16 at Chase Field. '14 came in his start at Minute Maid Park, struck out 11 here in that debut as an Astro that Julia was talking about. Pitch misses away. It's 2-0. Mazzara struck out looking his first time up. Rangers coming in playing a little better baseball lately. They've won 3 out of 4 and 7 of their last 12.
There's no bottom portion of the zone.
And Garrett's he's animated out there. He doesn't hide his emotions, and he is fuming right now.
It's a good pitch.
That's a strike.
Yep.
There it is, right in the middle.
He might have said something. Sorry. Thought I heard something come onto the field mics, and then the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn, kind of sent a stare out to the mound. But it's kind of funny that 97 right down the middle, and Garrett Cole basically said, "Is that good enough?"
That one was clearly outside. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Cole. First one came around to score. Now first and second with 1 out, and Adrian Beltre the batter. Beltre got down to the count his first time up 0-2, and then popped the ball into center field. It was placed perfectly. Fell in front of a diving Jake Marisnick for an RBI base hit.
Max Stassi took a moment, went out in front of home plate, had a conversation with the infielders. With runners at first and second, there might be an opportunity to throw behind or to throw to third base on the steal if there is a double steal attempt, and he's giving signs to let those guys know where he was throwing the baseball. Good communication. Just some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on when you have multiple race runners out there.
Missed with the fastball. It's 1-1. Beltre with that single his first time up. While it wasn't hit hard, it was his first career base hit against Garrett Cole. He's now 1 for 9. And up to 3,084 hits, 22nd on the all-time hit list. Up next is a guy that we saw taking BP in that last series for the Mariners. Even though he's not on the active roster, Ichiro Suzuki is 6 hits away for Beltre to get to number 21 on the list.
Is he getting paid to take batting practice?
And hang out in the clubhouse.
All right.
That's his deal.
It's like a fantasy league.
Strike called. 2-2.
What are they in the off season or right before spring training? They have those fantasy camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everyday fantasy camp.
He's living the dream.
He's earned it.
But yeah, he's working out. He's taking BP. He's hanging out in the clubhouse. He's going in to the line when they have victories. There's a breaking ball called. Third strikeout. Beauty. Garrett Cole freezes Adrian Beltre for strikeout number 4 on the night.
You got a call on a breaking ball. We haven't seen too many of these. Wanted to be down and away with it, but it backed up on the inside corner. And we've seen Beltre uncomfortable with some of the curveballs from Astro pitching. And right here's another instance of it.
That was one. If Cole didn't get that call, it would have been a very tough.
Colin McHugh would have had to have gotten loose real quick.
Because we've talked about it before. Stassi's as good as there is for framing. 2 outs now, 2 on, and a foul ball off the bat of Joey Gallo. I kind of like, though, certain guys are so poised on the mound. I kind of like that Cole showing his emotions as long as he channels it in the right direction, which I think he is.
Yeah, which he has. I agree with you in that sense that he is out there. He's not pointing the finger at anybody behind him. He's taking complete responsibility, and he understands the corrections he needs to make because he's got high expectations of himself, and he also has high expectations of the home plate umpire. If Garrett Cole feels if he's pitching well enough, you need to start calling those strikes because I am pounding the zone with that fastball and curveball. But yeah, he usually does direct that directly towards the pitcher when he gets, towards the hitters when he gets frustrated.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball, 98 miles an hour. Garrett Cole has 5 strikeouts through 3 innings, but the Rangers lead 1-0.
Presented to you by Toyota. But I'm going to wait on that. This is the big tease of the show, TK. We're going to get back to it in just a second, so I'll give it to you. It's a good one, though.
I can't wait.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
You should be.
4th inning. Astros are getting out and playing against Cole Hamels. Second time through the lineup. Hamels only needed 36 pitches to get through the lineup the first time. Drops one down low for a ball. It's 1-1. Of those 36 pitches, 20 strikes, 16 balls. He has not been throwing a high percentage of strikes yet. He's been able to get a couple of double play ground balls. He's faced the minimum through 3. And the Astros don't have a whole lot of hard contact against them. This is a fly ball towards right. Lazara comes in for the first out. And Springer, after a walk his first time up, flies out to right field for out number 1.
Third baseman Alex Bregman.
We'll bring up Alex Bregman. He popped up his first time up. Bregman has struggled this year against the Rangers, hoping to get things going. Pitch misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Alex batting under 200 against the Rangers this season. And a breaking ball misses. It's 2-0. Astros starting tonight's play averaging 5 3/4 runs per game on the road. That's about 1 3/4 higher than they average at home. And their batting average on the road about 40 points higher than it is at home, about 35 points higher. 270 road average coming in to tonight's play, and around 236 at home. Here's a called strike. So we'll see what happens on this road trip. 4 with the Rangers, 3 against Oakland, and 3 against Kansas City. Swing and a miss on the 3-1 changeup by Hamels, and that's what makes him so good. He will throw that pitch in any count.
He has a lot of confidence in that changeup, and he's going to force hitters to hit that pitch. That was always the book on Cole Hamels. He's pitched long enough for me to have a couple of ABs against him, and he was always a fastball, good four-seam fastball. It was pretty straight, but he'd work it on both sides. And then it was a changeup that was really the equalizer.
Chu tracks it down out on a hop as Alex Bregman digs for second, and he will get there with a stand-up double. Astros with their first hit of the night. It's a double by Alex Bregman.
And it was a double on a changeup. There was 3 changeups in a row. 19th for Alex Bregman, who has very good command of the zone. He's a high on-base percentage guy. He also does a good job of staying on this changeup. That was a very good changeup down and away. But good hitters, you throw that pitch to them 3 times, they're going to have an opportunity, and I think he picked on the right guy out there in left field. This is not a very strong defensive alignment for Jeff Bannister.
Chu has been primarily a DH this season, but starting in left field tonight. Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve takes one down and away, 1-0. So you know what these righties are dealing with facing Hamels.
Yes, and the changeup, I got lucky enough. He actually hung one to me, and I shot it back up the middle. But it was just, you need to take advantage of those mistakes. Even with a guy who has a good four-seam fastball, and he's able to locate inside, outside, you want to get something that's up on the plate. Stay in that strike zone. The one thing I didn't have to deal with now that Cole Hamels has is that cut fastball. That's extremely tough because usually you just sit on straight and straight change. There wasn't many wrinkles in there, but now that cut has been pretty effective getting in underneath the hands of right-handed hitters.
Altuve pops one foul. Jose grounded into a double play on 1 pitch his first time up. Altuve's last 12 games batting .440. His last 6 on the road over 500. 15 for 28, including that first at bat. 10 straight hits in the middle of that. Doesn't hurt. There's a rocket into left field for a base hit. Bregman will be waved home, and he will score easily. Jose Altuve gets the Astros on the board and ties the game at 1.
He is very good with runners in scoring position. And the way you stay out of double plays also is doing what Alex Bregman did. Just hit yourself into a double and then allow the guy behind you to drive you in. And usually that happens frequently for a guy like Jose Altuve. There's a little bit of the cut fastball up. And that was that's what I'm talking about as far as facing some of these guys who are able to put pitches on corners and create movement, trying to avoid barrels. When you get the mistake, you do not want to miss the mistake, and Jose Altuve did not miss it.
Here's Yuli Gurriel taking a pitch down for a ball. Altuve coming in, batting .380 with runners in scoring position. Had the go-ahead RBI last night on a base hit. And now ties the game up here in the 4th. Yuli sends one into center field. Gallo is there. Yuli retired for out number 2.
The Astros Foundation invites you to join the volunteer corps and give back to the Houston community. Volunteer for game day opportunities at the ballpark. craft parties at local hospitals, and much more. For more information, visit astros.com/volunteer.
Mentioned George Springer has hit 3 home runs in his career against Cole Hamels. 3 of his 4 hits against Cole have been home runs. Evan Gattis also has 3 career home runs against Hamels. And Evan is on a good run lately with 5 home runs in his last 10 games. A little hesitation in that delivery from Hamels. It's 0-1.
And this is the one from last night. Center cut fastball. He got the head out on it quickly against LeBlanc and launched it. And I know that we love talking about exit velos and launch angles. It took that camera guy out there in left field a pretty good angle to see how high up in the air that ball was. But a home run nonetheless. And we've seen Gattis not get a ton of hits, but when he does, they go.
Evan Gattis deep to left field and gone. Home run number 10 on the season. 4th of his career against Cole Hamels, and the Astros lead this game 3-1.
That was a hanging changeup.
Astros did not have a hit coming into this inning. And now 3 hits and 3 runs.
This ball gets pummeled. Perez sitting up outside. Changeup yanked back over the middle part of the plate. And nothing to do but crush. Stand up on him.
6 home runs, 13 runs batted in his last 10 games. And Gattis, producing out of that DH role, has just been red hot since that last road trip. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. He ropes one into center field. That is the 4th hit of the inning, as the Astros are getting to Cole Hamels 2nd time around.
Gattis knows his place pretty well. Grown up here. Had a couple of odd jobs here also. But now he's doing a job against Cole Hamels.
And the sweatshirt's back on.
Yeah, hey, got to keep the core temperature up. You got a story on this. You investigated.
I told the fans I would ask him. So I asked him before the game. Foul ball back. And I said, you're not going to wear the hoodie here in Arlington, right? And at that point, it was in the low 90s. So we'll give him that. It's 77 game time, so it changed since I asked him. He's like, no, it's the one stadium. It's too hot. Probably won't wear the hoodie. But he said because he knew he was DHing a lot, he was talking to Craig Biggio in spring training, and Bidge said, I didn't DH a whole lot, but when I did, I always put a sweatshirt on in between at bats just to keep the core warm, stay loose. Gattis said, that makes sense.
He may continue to do it. And it's unique today because the rain storm came in, so it got a little moist. Now it's a little bit cooler. Can throw the sweatshirt on. It's going to be different. If he's playing in that day game over the weekend and a couple of day games up there in Kansas City, man, maybe cut the sleeves off the sweatshirt. Does that count?
He took Biggio's advice, and now it's kind of a staple for Gattis. We've noticed it on the broadcast. Some fans were asking us on Twitter. So there you go. Advice from a Hall of Famer.
Good work from you, too, by the way.
1-2 pitch to Stassi, grounded towards third. Nice short hop by Kiner Falefa as he makes the play. But a 3-run inning for the Astros, and Houston leads for the first time 3-1. Passion for the game. The Express gets a spot on the Houston Sports Walk of Fame, and you'll meet the Astros first-round draft pick. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded Friday at 6 before the pregame show, only on AT&T Sportsnet. Get a little beer on that Astros Bases Loaded show. Seth Beer, the first-round pick out of Clemson. As we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, Isaiah Kiner Falefa will lead off against Garrett Cole, who has thrown 57 pitches through 3, 40 of them for strikes. I know the 17 that have missed, many are just barely off the edge. As you watch Cole work with a lead for the first time from center field, you can see how good his control has been. Where Max Stassi sets up and where he throws the pitch has been pretty much on point all night. 0-2 to Falefa. He's yanked a couple of fastballs, but for the most part, he has really looked good with his command. That's why he was frustrated with a couple of those early base hits and runners, because he feels like he probably shouldn't have walked Chu, and second time up he felt like he should have retired Chu on that comebacker that he just outside of his reach.
Yeah, you really feel when Garrett Cole is out there with the stuff that he has this season that he expects to basically get everybody out. At least that's the mentality. If he's on and able to spot his pitches, but we have seen some yank to that glove side. And when I say glove side, if the pitcher is standing on the mound facing the catcher, that glove side will be on the outside corner to a right-handed hitter or inside to a left-handed hitter. Arm side is inside to a right-handed hitter, away from the left-handed hitter. But sometimes those guys will yank pitches to the glove side, trying to be a little aggressive.
On that breaking ball, but gets away with it. A sharp ground ball to Marwin Gonzalez for out number 1.
Our Best in Texas Power Pitcher is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Best in the zone also whiffs this season. There are a couple at the bottom part of the zone, and again, that's a perfect square, I think, and we need to stretch that out, turn it into a rectangle as far as the graphic is concerned. But that is a lot of pitches in the zone, and these are whiffs on these pitches. Those orange dots up in the zone are typically fastballs, setting up that breaking ball down off the edge of the plate, down and away to right-handed hitters. So a great mix from Garrett Cole, aggressive in the zone with the fastball and the curveball. We've got a good example. Pitches up in the zone, and that's that elevated fastball. That is in the strike zone. Technically, it can be called if you get the right umpire back there calling the top portion of the zone. It's not extremely elevated up out of the zone for effect. He's actually pitching to try and get a strikeout.
He has let that four-seam eat this year. I think that's been one of the big weapons for him, is the percentage of four-seamers versus two-seamers. It used to be the two-seamer would be a lot more in the mix, but he has almost shelved that in terms of his fastball usage, and almost exclusively four-seam fastball now.
And again, that two-seam fastball is a pitch that will run. It has a tendency to sink or run to that arm side.
Here's a pop-up. Who do you think is going to catch this?
If you're asking for odds, it's going to be that guy.
Springer ran all the way in. He said, I got it, I got it, I got it. He said, do you hear me? I said I've got it. And Altuve says, I get all pop-ups.
And he's just mad mugging him too. It's like, don't mess with me. That guy is beautiful.
It's almost like he can hear us. Springer's like, I know.
Yep, get away. I got this.
2 away. Here's Ronald Guzman.
As much fun as we have with it, I would imagine they're having just as much on the field, knowing that anytime the ball is up in the air, Jose Altuve is going to be near it.
Yeah, no, I mean, normally you defer to an outfielder coming in. It's a little easier play than a second baseman going back. But not when it's Altuve. Altuve catches all pop-ups he can get to. Now it counts 1-1. The last year, four-seam fastball used 43% of the time. This year that's up to 50%. Meanwhile, the two-seamer that you talked about has a little run away from left-hand hitters, down to less than 5% of his pitches.
Well, in the two-seam run, usually you take a little bit of velocity off it because you're trying to create movement. You're trying to increase movement, whereas the fastball that you're talking about with the four-seam fastball, he's trying to overwhelm guys. And I'm not sure if he even knew how well he could overwhelm people by throwing 96, 97 so consistently into the zone.
Saw him yank one again there, a little bit to the glove side, and that's been his miss when he has missed. And he's been messing around with the mound a lot too. I don't think he's entirely comfortable with that landing area. 3-1 count now on Guzman, and he misses down and away. So Cole's now walked 3 batters tonight, and he walks Guzman here with 2 outs.
He's going to go have a little conversation with himself, getting 2 outs quickly and then walking. It's not ideal.
Now he'll face Carlos Perez for the second time. Perez, the number 9 hitter, started the year with the Angels in spring training. Ground ball to third. Bregman makes the play to Altuve, and that'll do it for the Rangers in the 4th. Jose Altuve making sure all pop-ups are mine. We head to the 5th at 3-1 Astros.
to August 31st, 2017. Astros have taken 10 of the last 14 against these Rangers. And leading the way would be the guys at the top of the order. You're looking at them. Jose Altuve, George Springer in their last 12. Pretty good numbers they've put up. 8 homers between those two, driving in 21. Wrecking havoc, doesn't matter where they are either. But I talked earlier in the broadcast, guys, about the way things have changed when it comes to this particular series and the Astros versus the Rangers and how the Rangers dominated for so many years. And that changed, and those two had a big part in that.
Certainly did. Get things turned around. Kemp tried to bunt, popped one up. Ronald Guzman made the play in foul territory. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 5th. Altuve and Springer went through some tough times against the Rangers and got it turned around last season.
Thank goodness. Because early on for Julia and I, it was tough baseball to watch here in Arlington. We dreaded coming here just as much as I think some of those rosters did.
But good to return the favor last season, and I'll never forget that last series of 2017. The Astros were here before they went to Boston to round out the regular season, and not only did they win that series, they took it to the Rangers in all 3 of those games. It was almost the final exclamation point on a season in which the baton was passed from one Texas team to the other.
But they've got the ultimate bragging right.
Yep.
Brought the World Series trophy for the first time into the state of Texas. Resides in Houston.
Jake into right field. Mazzara towards the line. Eases up as he makes the play for out number 2. Astros won those 3 games here. Games 156, 7, and 8. 11-2, 14-3, and 12-2. League leaders presented by Houston Methodist. Astros since last season have been very good away from Minute Maid Park.
They've been good away from Minute Maid Park, and they've also been good in the West. Things are a little bit different this season with these teams stepping up and playing extremely good baseball.
Springer hit it hard, but hit it right at Kiner Falefa. And Cole Hamels, after allowing 3 runs last inning, comes back with a 1-2-3 5th. Halfway home here at Globe Life Park, but the Astros up 3-1. To go. Don't miss the store-wide sale going on now. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by Champion Energy Services, the exclusive electricity provider of the Houston Astros. That is Globe Life Field you saw there, which is being built and will be ready for the 2020 season. Astros and Rangers had about a 40-minute rain delay tonight. No more rain delays when that thing is open. As Garrett Cole faces the top of the lineup for the 3rd time. Shin-Soo Choo leads off and takes a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. One more series to go after this 4-game set. It'll be a 2-gamer, July 3rd and 4th here at Globe Life Park. And then the last series between these 2 teams will be at Minute Maid Park. Season series will be over right after the All-Star break at the end of July.
It's incredible.
So last year, Jose Altuve got his 200th hit here. That's not going to happen this year.
Unless he goes on an absolute tear.
No, it's not going to happen.
Gosh, keep your chin up.
July 4th.
What's this 1 in a million stuff?
July 4th.
You're not even going that far, are you?
200 hits by July 4th. Even Altuve, as good as he is, can't accomplish that. 97-mile-an-hour fastball getting Choo, and that's one that Garrett Cole wanted in his holster because Choo had walked and singled his first 2 times up. That is 6 strikeouts for Garrett Cole, and with that strikeout, he is now passed for the most strikeouts since the All-Star break, the Rocket Roger Clemens, who had the most strikeouts since 2004 leading into the All-Star break at 121. That was in 18 starts. This is Cole's 13th start.
That's impressive.
So he's doing things that have not happened in the last 15 seasons before the All-Star break, and we still have more than a month to go before they play at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. for the All-Star game.
It's almost as if he's trying to impress upon the All-Star manager.
Ground ball foul. I think he already has. Julie gave a little report on that earlier. I think AJ is going to have an interesting choice. Obviously, there are other candidates, but two of the lead candidates, and before Charlie Morton's last start, you could have said three of the lead candidates, all reside in AJ Hinch's rotation for the AL starter of the All-Star game. Profar down to a knee on that swing and a miss. It's 1-2, and Cole continues to work on the mound.
Yeah, he's turning into a groundskeeper out there. He's irritated, frustrated, and he's taking it out on some of these pitchers, because I mean some of these hitters, but that slider down and in, that's pretty filthy. And again, it jumps out of his hand looking like a fastball and then breaks down and in.
That was a fastball, grounded into the shift. Gonzalez makes the play, and there's 2 outs.
Guess what?
Working on the mound.
Hundo.
Oh, he got a hundo. What? Imagine if he liked the mound.
Yeah, imagine if he felt comfortable. Guess what? You can go behind the scenes of Minute Maid Park with an Astros ballpark tour. Fans can check out areas like the TV booth, press box, dugout, scoreboard, and more. Visit astros.com/tours to book your tour today.
So are we saying he's had 2 starts in a row where he's thrown a pitch 100 miles an hour?
Yep.
There's no hot radar guns anymore. They're all pretty much universal. Cole is throwing 100-mile-an-hour pitches in 2 straight starts.
It's incredible, man. He's just getting loose, it feels like.
Wow. Last start, he actually got to 101 in his final inning. Here's Mazzara with a 1-0 count. That's a fastball for a strike at a mere 97.
Pedestrian.
He tied up Mazzara on one of those high-octane fastballs his first time up, and then he walked Nomar the second time. You mentioned Cole is his own worst self-critic. He is very harsh on himself, and he'll be frustrated with the 3 walks tonight. But since he's had the lead, he has looked very good out there. Ahead of the count here on Mazzara, 1-2.
And I think that's one of the things that really impressed me early on. The first game we saw Cole pitch here was when he did get that lead. The Astros gave him a lead here in Arlington, and he went to work. He was not afraid to get after it in that strike zone, and he knew how to pitch with that lead. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Out into the upper deck. Nice catch there.
I thought it was a good job by the guys in the truck to stay on Cole and watch him fix that mound, because a lot of times we're showing you different shots, but we watch the field, and Garrett Cole has been doing a lot of work on that landing area in front of the mound.
Nobody happier than DJ Rayburn. Cole was frustrated with the home plate umpire early. Now he's a little more agitated with the mound.
Take it out on the mound instead of DJ.
That is 1-2. Love watching Garrett Cole pitch. How can you not? This guy just goes out there and competes and deals, and man, oh man, I knew the Astros were getting a good pitcher when they acquired him. I wasn't sure that we were going to see this. He is striking out more in the American League than anybody else per 9, and he picks up another one. That's 7 on the night as he gets Mazzara for the second time. 1, 2, 3, 5th. We head to the 6th in a 3-1 game.
RK on Twitter to show us, and you could win a VIP experience. So tweet now and win big. Cole Hamels still out there for the Rangers, and last time he faced the Astros, he did a really nice job. They weren't able to get much going at all. 1 hit allowed, and that was a Gattis ground ball single that day. And the game plan coming into today was not chase the cutter, because that's what it was for Cole Hamels in that last start. And Hamels said after that start, he knew the Astros were a good team. They always have a good plan. He said that he needed to stay 1 step ahead of them. And I also remember Jeff Bannister said after that game he had a look in his eye. So maybe stepped it up a bit, playing a good team like the Houston Astros. But that was the plan for the Astros today, guys, was to not chase that cutter and stay in the zone against Hamels.
Good timing on that story, because the guy that doesn't chase at all is leading things off, Alex Bregman. He ended up with the Astros' first hit tonight. Started a 3-run rally as he came around to score on the Altuve single. And Altuve scored on the home run by Evan Gattis to make it a 3-1 game. Bregman recently taking over the lead in the American League for the lowest chase percentage and second in all of baseball behind Joey Votto. But he's down in the count here, 0-2 against the guy that does get a lot of chase on the off-speed stuff. Bregman gets into one towards left. Chu is back there though and makes the play, moving quickly towards the warning track. Bregman hit it well on the 0-2 pitch, but he's retired for out number 1.
Yeah, it was a good play by Chu, but getting back to what Joey was talking about, taking away that cut fastball, and I talked about it earlier with Cole Hamels developing that cut fastball. He uses it to get in under the hands of right-handed hitters. It's a tough pitch to keep fair. So what he's trying to do is get in under their hands. But what I think the Astros are trying to do is cut that plate in half and look over the outer part of the plate over here and drive that baseball up the middle the other way. That'll allow them to stay on that changeup, and if they see that pitch starting middle in and it's cutting, hopefully it cuts in off the plate. But it's tough as a hitter to cover both pitches and both sides of the plate.
Altuve around a bunt. You don't see this that often, and Altuve will be safe. The throw goes wide. Backed up there by Odor, but Jose Altuve, a one-out base runner on his second consecutive hit, a bunt single.
Even the best hitter in the league has to create some hits every once in a while, and Kiner Falefa, we've seen him play a lot of second base, now playing third base. Now Altuve testing him, earned that base hit, and almost got a little bit more with the overthrow.
That was a ball that was coming in on Altuve, so he had to kind of back off. Got a slow start out of the box, and still a beautiful bunt. Starting to rake at Globe Life Park after he struggled for the first 5 seasons. He's off and running. Gurriel takes the pitch. It's a throw that bounces into shallow center field. Nobody was covering the bag, and Altuve ends up with a stolen base.
That's pretty odd.
Odor was late getting over there. He and Profar are talking right now. Somebody missed the sign.
That was great. Jose Altuve, you talked about the hesitation in the move from Cole Hamels. Oh my. This guy. There's a little bit of a linger and then go, and I think Jose Altuve may have read that move, decides to steal. I'm just glad that was a glancing blow to the skull of Jose Altuve. But that was a real, him going on that first pitch immediately, almost ambushing both fielders up the middle. Odor, it's usually the off guy that covers the bag, and that would be Odor with a right-handed hitter up there. Maybe took a nap.
Now Hamels wanting to make sure Altuve doesn't get far off his second base. Altuve with his 9th steal of the year, leading the team in that category, and Yuli Gurriel with a 2-0 count. Yuli takes a strike. It's 2-1.
That's a cut fastball that Julie was talking about. And it's okay. If he throws it for a strike, so what? You just tip your cap and say, hey, you got your pitch in there. I'm not going to give away my at-bat and change my approach.
Yuli misses that one. It's 2-2. Gurriel has popped to second and flied out to center field. Now 1 for 13 in his career against Cole Hamels. Three and 2. Yuli riding a 12-game hitting streak. And he misses the changeup there. Strikes out for Cole Hamels, picks up his 2nd strikeout of the game.
Defensive rankings are brought to you by GMC. The Houston Astros are very good. A fielding percentage of .992 leads Major League Baseball. On the opposite end of the spectrum are these Texas Rangers. Their fielding percentage is .978. Gives you another idea of how spoiled we are in Houston to watch some very good athletes all over the diamond, making some diving plays over the shoulders, some strong throws.
Gattis with a base hit up the middle. Altuve will score, and the Astros add to their lead. It is now 4-1. Gattis with 3 runs batted in. Evan Gattis picks on the first pitch he sees from Cole Hamels for another RBI base hit.
Attacking strikes. It's good to see Evan Gattis in swing mode. Early on in the season, it was tough to get that bat off the shoulder, found himself in some deep counts, but here, very aggressive early on. And yes, that is the cutter, but it's out over the plate. Squared up and knuckled into center field.
Gallo playing very deep in center, and with Altuve's speed, no chance to throw him out. Here's Marwin Gonzalez taking one down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Altuve 2 runs scored tonight. Both times driven in by Evan Gattis. Marwin singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Man, that hesitation delivery almost looks like it's almost a balk, because he kind of hangs there in the air, and he can either go to first base or come home.
Well, and the interesting thing is when he gets to that hesitation spot and stops, he has 2 choices. He either goes to first or he lifts the leg. And I think we saw Jose Altuve saw the hesitation, and when the knee raised again, he took off.
2-0 pitch hit well to right field. Mazara's there, though. Marwin hits in some bad luck. A line drive right to the right fielder. Astros add to their lead with the RBI by Evan Gattis.
Still is, but 5 innings in, 7 punch-outs. We've seen him also reach 100. Battling though, despite 3 walks. Still a nice job by him. He's offensively backed by Evan Gattis and company tonight. The 4th inning, we saw 4 hits there, but capped off by his 6th homer in his last 10 games. And tacking off the RBI just a few minutes ago. 3 RBI for Gattis, who's feeling really good at the plate and has a lot of friends and family in the house tonight, guys. So his cheering section is having a heck of a time so far here at Globe Life Park.
Good for them. Seeing a lot of orange sprinkled around the stands, especially behind the Astros dugout. As Garrett Cole faces Adrian Beltre. He got Beltre on a called 3rd strike on a pitch similar to that broke over the inside corner of the plate. It's 1-1.
Yeah, there is a lot of orange here in Arlington. It's good to see.
That last series that I referenced, where the Astros scored double digits in every game and swept that series in late September, there were so many Astros fans here. They were audible during that whole series.
Yes, they were. And you really hope they continue to be that way. They announced the lineups before the game, and you could hear more Astro fans cheering for the Astros lineup than the Ranger fans cheering for the Rangers lineup.
1-1 to count to Beltre. A little meeting in the mound there after that last pitch between Cole and Stassi. And fires a fastball that's fouled back. It's 1-2. Julia mentioned the 7 strikeouts tonight in 5 innings of work. Cole now has struck out 32 Rangers in his 3 starts over 19 innings. I think the Rangers not thrilled that the Astros acquired Garrett Cole in the offseason. It's one thing to face him every few years as a National Leaguer. Now you can get him anywhere from up to 6 times in a season.
Awesome.
Fouled off the mask of Stassi.
The time it took him to get 116 strikeouts in 2018 is a little bit quicker than it took him in 2017.
Wow. So where he is now is basically where he was in August of last year, with the add in tonight strikeouts, 7 more.
So we can just go ahead and double the numbers.
It's a guy who's never averaged more than a strikeout per inning, and as an Astros fan, it's hard to believe watching him this year. 2-2 pitch hit well to center field, sending Jake all the way back, and he will get there in front of the track and put it away. Beltre sending that one to deep center field for the first out.
Power Player is presented to you by TXU Energy. This is a little bit of a spray chart as far as slugging percentage is concerned. This is why the Astros employ that 4 outfield mix, because you will see guys planted throughout the outfield, mostly in those positions where those high slugging percentage numbers are. That is a lot of fly ball action. Not many ground balls off the bat of Joey Gallo, and a lot of talk about him being that one guy that you say is a 3 true outcome type guy, but he's pretty much eliminated the walk. He has just 2 true outcomes. He's all or nothing. Home runs or strikeouts.
8 career at bats against Garrett Cole, 2 home runs, 6 strikeouts.
Thank you.
Astros had 3 on the one side, and now they've sent Alex Bregman over, and Marwin's a little confused. Marwin's like, what's this? I don't play a lot of infield lately. We got 4 on the left side, and instead there's a pop foul out of play.
That's why you see Max Stassi bolting out from behind home plate.
Last time we did see the Astros use 4 outfielders, but tonight Gallo facing 4 infielders.
Those 3 true outcomes, these guys are a very high percentage. It's a home run, strikeout, or a walk. Gallo in second as far as percentage, 52% of the time. It's going to end up being that home run, strikeout, or a walk. Aaron Judge on that list, Yohan Moncada, some big time power guys in there, Bryce Harper. Two, 1 pitch is a strike. It's 2-2. Gallo playing center field tonight. He's got a lot of infielders on that right side. And he hits one on the right side, but pulls it foul. Man, that ball got down there in a hurry.
I think it was Brian McTaggart last time we were in town that took a picture from his angle where you could only see 1 fielder from second base over, including the outfield. 2-2 pitch, high fastball, got him again. Just like last time, plays the fastball up in the zone, this time at 99 miles an hour. Garrett continues to do work on the mound, but when you can throw 99, the mound looks pretty good.
Make it work. And it's still incredible to me that these guys are able to execute their pitches when they want to, especially fastballs up in the zone. That's not something that's typically taught in the past, but now these guys are getting more comfortable with it, and they're racking up the strikeouts in doing so.
8 strikeouts tonight as he faces Kiner Falefa. Misses outside and low for a ball, 1-0. Garrett about to make his 100th pitch of the night. 67% strikes in his first 100, but he's 2-0 on Kiner Falefa.
He's averaging 103 pitches per start. He's also almost averaging 7 innings per start.
All 3 of his career outings against the Rangers have been exactly 7 innings. Ooh, good breaking ball there. It's 2-1.
Just not fair when you work yourself into a fastball count against a guy who throws 96, 97 consistently, and he breaks off a slider like that to get the swing and miss in the 2-0 count.
This ball's hit hard to left field. Tony Kemp is there and makes a leaping attempt, and he comes down with it. Tony Kemp showing some ups as he ran over and caught that line drive at the height of his jump.
That ball had a lot of hang time. A rocket off the bat of Kiner Falefa. And you can see Tony Kemp had to make the adjustment in mid-stride, and luckily he's got some ups. Astros lead 4-1. That line drive off the bat of Kiner Falefa, and it got a little interesting later on. I think as soon as he explained it to George Springer was like, no, I'm not talking about the line drive. He goes, I'm talking about your hops.
It was impressive. He needed every bit of it. That was probably the hardest hit ball Garrett Cole's allowed all night, because the singles haven't been hit hard tonight.
Nope.
Little pop fly single by Beltre, dropping in front of Marisnik for the only run scored. So let's take us through.
Get up.
It's hard not to have fun on this team with the personalities. George maybe has the most fun of anybody. 2-1 pitch misses inside to Max Stassi. It's 3-1.
And you are correct about that hard hit baseball off the bat of Connor Falefa. That was the hardest hit ball by a Texas Ranger this evening. 101.8 off the bat.
Almost all the 100 pluses have been from the Astros hitters tonight, except for that line out. 3-2 the count to Stassi. Stassi walked and grounded out to third his last time up. Astros leading 4-1. Called third strike. Stassi goes down looking. That's now 3 strikeouts for Cole Hamels. All of them have been, now actually 2 of the 3 have been called third strikes. Time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Who am I? 98.8. A lot of numbers here. 7, 12, 18. Fathers and sons. 98.8, 7, 12, 18. Fathers and sons. If you know or want to guess, send your guess to @ATT Sportsnet SW.
Some of these velocities these days look like radio stations.
And
if that is a velocity number, I'm just assuming 98.8 might be a velocity.
Garrett Cole moving up the dial a little bit on the radio. He's hit 100 tonight, hit 101 in his last start. You mentioned his average pitches per start. And I think AJ's just making sure he keeps him in check, because he could probably go into the 110 range as Kemp lines one to Gallo in center field. But why mess with it? He's got a bullpen that's pretty well rested this year. And so with that in mind, Will Harris is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Two outs, nobody on. Kemp hit it well, but hit it at Joey Gallo. Gallo's made the plays tonight in center field in his first start in 3 years. Hasn't really been tested too much.
Yeah, but I also think, you know, it's one thing to go out there and try and shag some fly balls. He hasn't been tested in that sense, but I also know that if there's a base hit to center field and a runner has the ability to score from second base, we know Gary Pettis is hyper aggressive to begin with, but they're really going to try and test out that arm of Joey Gallo, having not been out there in a long time. He has played a lot of left field. He's accustomed to that throw.
Reason he's out there is Delino DeShields has really been struggling for them. Plus Garrett Cole was on the mound, and they wanted to try and add an extra stick in that lineup that wasn't a right-handed stick. As Marisnick swings through it, it's 1-2. So Gallo makes his first start out there in 3 years, in the second of his career. Jake, one of the strikeout victims tonight for Cole Hamels. Cole's been picking up more strikeouts this season, but tonight has just 3. In the last couple of innings, he's picked up 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th. And he gets a called third strike there for the final out of the 7th inning. 1-2-3 inning for Cole Hamels. Astros lead 4-1 heading to the 7th inning stretch. We'll turn it over to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge.
Chevy Stroh poll. Remember, you can find it on Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW. We asked, which team do you now consider to be the Astros' biggest long-term rival in the American League? You voted for the New York Yankees, 52%. Texas Rangers coming in second with 35%. Ticket.
All right, Julia. Yankees and Astros could have a lot of battles for supremacy in the AL, along with another team or two over the next few years, but they are both poised for very good runs as Will Harris takes over in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
25 games now for Will Harris. Record not very good at 1-3. Tough times coming out of that bullpen. Last time we saw him was in that Boston series where he got roughed up a little bit, but has an opportunity to turn things around and have a clean inning right here against the bottom part of the lineup for the Texas Rangers.
AJ likes him on lefties. He will face 2 lefties to start this inning. And then if it gets to the top of the order, Shin-Soo Choo bats 4th, and he's another lefty. Rougned Odor flied out to right and popped up to second against Garrett Cole. Good hook there for Will to start this at bat. It's 0-1 to Odor. Will's had some success against this Rangers second baseman. Round the bunt, bunts it down the line nicely. Bregman a barehand attempt, but no chance. Perfectly placed by Rougned Odor. He's a leadoff base runner in the seventh.
He's pretty proud of that bunt. Alex Bregman was playing in, but well off the line. Good choice by Odor.
So now Harris faces Ronald Guzman. And he hits one down the line in right, hooking, and that is a foul ball. Just missed extra bases by a few feet.
Guzman got a little bit quick on 91 from Will Harris. And again, when he's right, he's 92 to 94 with that cut fastball and that over-the-top curveball. And it's really that cut fastball that makes him effective against some of these left-handed hitters staying off the barrel.
And the dirt blocked by Stassi. It's 1-1. Harris taking over for Garrett Cole, who had another great outing against the Rangers. He's had 7 innings of 2-hit baseball, 1 run, 7 innings of 3-hit baseball, 2 runs, and tonight Cole goes 6 innings of 3-hit baseball and 1 run. Runner on the move, called strike, and Odor is out at second base. Stassi put that throw right on the money. Odor can't believe he's out, but he was called out by the crew chief Sam Holbrook at second.
And I think what sold it was the way Marwin Gonzalez let that ball travel. We see so many times where a middle infielder will reach out, go towards the baseball to catch it, as opposed to letting it travel. And what Marwin did is just let that ball travel, catch it on that runner, and he tags himself out.
What a throw. I mean, you cannot dial it up any better than that. And Odor, after they looked at the review, was waved back to the dugout, and the Rangers not thrilled, down 3 to lose a base runner there. And a swing and a miss, just like that, 2 outs, nobody on.
Next, Stassi popping out from behind home plate. He might be a little bit more deliberate than you want to see in some of your catchers, but what he does in being deliberate is puts the throw on the money. And it was great recognition again by Marwin for me to stand there, hold his ground, recognize it was going to be a good throw, and just let it travel, catch it, and leave the glove there. And Odor basically slid into that tag.
Now Carlos Perez bats and takes a called strike. That was a momentum shifter in the middle of the inning. Odor thrown out, and then Guzman strikes out, and now the base is cleared for the number 9 hitter. One and 1 the count. Perez is flied to center and bounced into a fielder's choice. Two and two. The 2 acquisitions in the last 10 months or so for the Astros in their starting rotation. Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole. I think the Angels a little frustrated having to face Verlander as much as 6 times a year, and the Rangers have proven they're not real thrilled with having to face Cole as many as 6 times a year, because they have been dominated. Verlander has his number against the Angels, and Cole has proven that against the Rangers in 3 starts. Ooh, that did not miss by much. Stassi held it for an extra beat. Instead, it's 3-2.
It was good to see that guy sitting next to Justin Verlander. Just to Verlander's left.
Brian McCann?
Yep.
McCann could be back as early as tomorrow. Eligible to come off the 10-day DL.
That'd be kind of cool. He was hitting bombs in BP, or should I say McCannon balls.
Oh, we can't wait for that call again. There's a little flare into center field. Second hit of the inning. A bunt to start the inning, and now a little flare into short center off the bat of Carlos Perez. It would only be fitting if McCann comes back with JV on the mound.
Right? It's a pretty good pairing.
Will has had success against Shin-Soo Choo in his career. Brent Strom going out to the mound to have a word with Will Harris. Nicole now with 3 starts against the Rangers, 20 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 33 strikeouts. Chris Davinsky warming up in the Astros bullpen. Chua walk and a single, also struck out. On the ground in between Altuve and Marwin into right field. 3 hits in the inning for the Rangers. And now they have first and second, and it will bring the tying run to the plate in Jurickson Profar.
Well, to your point, there's something to be said for getting Garrett Cole out of that game, and that's going to bring A.J. Hinch out of the dugout.
A.J. is going to bring in Chris Davinsky here with 2 on and 2 outs in the 7th inning. We'll have more after this. Happening at Minute Maid Park this month includes Superhero Day, Yuli Gnome with Troll Hair giveaway, and an Astros fedora. Visit astros.com/promotions for tickets and a full list of events. 2 on, 2 outs, 3-run game, tying run to the plate, and Chris Davinsky coming in and out of the bullpen.
It's going to keep Jurickson Profar on that left side and use that circle change that has been so good for him in 25 games. 1.90 ERA last time out. Did a very good job, pitched well enough to allow the Astros to come back and win that ball game against the Mariners, where he picked up that second win.
Profar takes a call strike. Rangers shortstop 1 for 3 tonight with a single. Last time he faced Garrett Cole, Cole threw one 100 miles an hour in his at bat. 1 for 6 in his career against Davinsky with 3 strikeouts. And he sends one towards right field where George Springer has a beat on it, puts it away for the final out. Devo 2 pitches, gets the final out of the 7th. We head to inning 8. Astros still lead 4-1.
Brick program. Enjoy new brick sizes, placement down Champions Walkway, and the option to include the Astros World Champions logo with a personal message on it. Visit astros.com/bricks for more info. George Springer leading things off. Stick with our theme. It's how the Astros have turned things around, especially right here at Globe Life Park recently. We mentioned Springer being one of those guys. The splits from 2014 when he was called up to 2016, and then last year to now. Pretty impressive in what he's done as far as turning things around, especially in the power numbers. The OPS, over 1,100. Good stuff from the top of the lineup, guys.
Yeah, a lot of pop there from Springer. Only 4 for 22 in his career against Cole Hamels with his 0 for 2 tonight, but 3 of those 4 hits have been home runs. Down on the count here, 0-2. Hamels starts the inning with 95 pitches. And he has not gone deeper than 7 innings in any start this year. Just 1 start with 7 innings. Actually, 2 starts with 7 innings. His last one against the Angels in Anaheim, and the other one was here at home against the Yankees on May 22nd. Comes inside on Springer. It's 2-2. Astros lead 4-1. George walked to start this game. Erased on a double play. He is also flied to right and grounded out to third. George coming off a good homestand, hit .381 during that 6-game homestand. Chops one off his foot at the plate. Brad Peacock warming up in the Astros bullpen. Nice job by Chris Tavensky getting that final out of the 7th inning, with the Rangers threatening with the tying run at the plate. 2 runners on. Hamels' high pitch count on the season is 107. He's been above 100 in 4 different starts this year. This is his 5th. And he gets Springer. Strikeout number 5 for Cole Hamels. And 4 of those 5 strikeouts have come in the last 6 outs. I'll bring up Alex Bregman. Bregman has popped up, doubled, scored a run, and also lined out to left. All the games that Hamels has pitched against the Astros this season have been low-scoring games. Bregman sends one deep to left field. Forget about it. Alex Bregman, home run number 7, and the Astros lead it 5-1. Bregman has hit the ball hard 3 straight times against Hamels, and that was well struck.
Attaboy, Alex. Alexander the rake. Man, Cole Hamels knew that right off the bat. Tried to cut that fastball in there at 90 miles an hour, but it came right back into the heart of the plate. And Alex Bregman, in all his knowledge of that strike zone, knows exactly what to do with it.
That's what you're talking about. Put a line in the middle of the plate. Attack that pitch from the middle out, and Bregman attacked in a big way. Last batter that Cole Hamels will face. Pitching change here in Arlington, and we'll be back after this. Were numerical for the first 2, 98.8, 712, 18. Fathers and sons. Ooh, Nolan Ryan, 98.8% of the Hall of Fame vote.
It's pretty good. How do you not unanimous? I still don't understand. Who doesn't vote for Nolan Ryan? Ken Griffey Jr. and these guys.
1.2% said, I'm not going to make it unanimous.
Idiots.
1-1 the count.
Sorry. It was a little aggressive.
Oh, you're right. 1-1 pitch. New pitcher is Jesse Chavez. 7-12-18 could throw people off because they're thinking, all right, what's happening coming up July 12th of this year?
Yeah, we're seeing into the future.
2-1 pitch upstairs, and Chavez is falling behind Altuve. 3-1. Altuve 2 for 3 tonight. A couple of runs scored.
There's Jesse's numbers. 18 games in relief. How about the last time he was out there in relief against the Angels? He threw 5 innings.
Altuve base hit to right field. 3 in a row tonight. Another 3-hit game for Jose Altuve. His last 7 road games, he is now 18 for 31.
That's silly.
That's what he does. Just racks up hits. Here's Yuli Gurriel. You may have seen the splits on Chavez when he came into the game. The home number's not so good for him. That ERA near 7. He's still throwing all the same pitches he threw as a starter. 5-pitch mix for Chavez. Fastball, cutter, change, slider, curveball. Not a great swing there from Yuli. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that's not a swing from a guy who has a 12-game hitting streak trying to extend it.
His numbers much better against Chavez than they were against Cole Hamels. Cole got him for an 0 for 3 tonight, and now he's 1 for 14, but trying to extend that hitting streak, which sits at 12 games. Career best for Yuli and longest active streak in the big leagues. High chopper towards Kiner Falefa, waits for it to come down and makes the throw to get Yuli. On the play, Altuve moves to second with 2 outs. Altuve explaining how he keeps getting hits on the road. And they said, okay, I got you.
Maybe you went over there and said, I bunted because you bunted.
That's a good call. Saw the master do it.
Yeah.
Altuve doesn't bunt that much.
No.
But he bunted for a hit tonight. Here's Evan Gattis. Nice homecoming tonight for Gattis. Home run, 3 RBIs. 2-run home run and an RBI single in the 6th inning. Gattis putting together a great couple of weeks. 6 home runs, 14 RBIs his last 10 games. Takes a called strike from Chavez. It's 1-1. Astros trailed in this game 1-0. Garrett Cole shut it down from there. Will Harris and Chris Stavinsky in the 7th, and now Brad Peacock, it appears, will have the 8th as Evan misses that pitch. It's 1-2. Into left field. Chu is there. Edman retired for the final out of the 8th inning. But the Astros add to their lead on an Alex Bregman home run. It's 5-1.
Hold true moment. But Garrett Cole is holding true to who he is when he's wearing that Houston Astro uniform. And he's also holding true to what he does to these opposing hitters that wear Texas Ranger uniforms. Continues to go out there and be dominant. He was uncomfortable on the mound, didn't get some pitches, but it didn't fluster him. He just continued to attack the strike zone with 97+ miles an hour and that curveball slider combination to create the swings and misses. He was upset at those 3 walks, but he maintained his composure, went 6 strong. Another quality start. He now has 12 out of his 13 starts have been quality starts.
Been fun to watch him every 5 days. The Astros coming in 10-2 in his dozen starts, and now Brad Peacock takes over in the bottom of the 8th.
23 appearances for Brad Peacock. The ERA and WHIP holding strong. 3 runs allowed in the last 5 appearances. Trying to get that fastball command and that slider break back to create his own version of the swing and miss.
Omar Mazara into left field. Tony Kemp puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out for Brad Peacock here in the 8th. Well, there's never a point in the rotation that you feel overly comfortable when facing the Astros. But if you're the Rangers and you're coming in having won 3 out of 4, you just swept a little mini 2-game series against Oakland, feeling pretty good about yourself. Then you run into Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander back-to-back, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, they'll squash your ego in a hurry. And not even care about it.
Here's Adrian Beltre, 1 for 3 tonight. He drove in the only run of the night. It was on a little pop fly at less than 70 miles an hour off the bat, but it was well placed in shallow center field. That would be the only run allowed by Cole in those 6 innings of work, and 1 of 3 singles he allowed. Peacock misses with the slider. It's 1-1. Peacock, the 3rd member of the Astros bullpen used in this game. Will Harris for 4 batters, and Chris Stavinsky got the final out. Here's a good fastball for a strike. Peacock ahead of Beltre, 1-2. 1-2 pitch sent high in the air to right field. Springer's there. Puts it away for out number 2. Now 2 outs, base is cleared, and Peacock will face Joey Gallo. Gallo had his issues with Garrett Cole. Nothing new there. Every time he has faced Cole, he either hit a home run or struck out. Tonight he had 3 strikeouts. And Peacock delivers a strike there. Astros trying to maintain ground in the AL West. Seattle remains hot. Astros finally snapped their 5-game winning streak last night, but Seattle bounced back with a win tonight on the road. They have won 6 out of 7. Winning 5-4 tonight in Tampa Bay. So the Astros need a win to stay a game back in the AL West. Gallo fouls one back. It's 1-2. AJ could, as you look at the current standings, could decide to go with Brad Peacock for the 8th and the 9th inning in a 4-run game. Only one team sub 500 in the AL West. That's the Rangers. And the A's, you saw their record at 31-31. That's the best record of any team the Astros face all the way until the All-Star break. A's are trailing tonight at home 1-0 in the 4th.
And I'm sure as a manager, AJ Hinch might be a little bit worried about maybe a lull or some complacency, but these guys know they have an opportunity to rack up some wins and some offensive numbers.
Altuve makes the play on the 4-man infield on the right side to end the 8th. By Toyota, let's go places. By Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. And by T-Mobile, show your military appreciation and use hashtag hats off for heroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. Astros fans enjoying this one. We head to the 9th. It is a 5-1 Houston lead. Marwin Gonzalez leads things off against Jesse Chavez. First full inning of work for Chavez. Came on for Cole Hamels in the last inning and allowed a hit and recorded 2 outs. Marwin 1 for 3. Hit the ball hard his last time, lining out to right. He's also single. Pitch misses away. It's 1-1. This is the opener of a 4-game series between the Astros and the Rangers. Astros trying to take a 7-4 lead in the Silver Boot series. A little pop up into shallow left. Chew a long run. Out goes Kiner Falefa. It drops in. Beautifully placed by Marwin Gonzalez. And now an overthrow at second. And Marvin's going to take advantage. He's going to go all the way to third. The throw comes in by Mazzara, and Marwin is safe, and now the throw gets away, but backed up finally. Kiner Falefa gloves it, and Marwin stays at third on a little bloop in the left.
Man, oh man, we talked about it earlier in this ball game about how these guys are a little rough around the edges when they have the leather on their hands. This is a drop shot. Kiner Falefa not playing a lot of third base, charging out there. When we talk about the internal clock sometimes, that's an uncomfortable feeling for a third baseman to run that far. I'm sure he assumed that Chew would be able to come over there and make the play, but he did not. And then all of a sudden, it turned into an airmail situation.
Now first pitch swinging Stassi, a little pop up beyond second, and Odor does a nice job getting back there with the infield in, so the run is not able to score as Marwin stays at third on the pop up.
At first, you're kind of disappointed in the contact, and then it turns into a hit. And then you see the chaos ensue. The realization that you're going to end up on third base after hitting a pop-up to shallow left field. Almost ended up being a Little League home run.
Now was Kiner Falefa backing up. Chavez had to cover third because Kiner Falefa was in shallow left, trying to make the play on the pop-up. Now the infield in with Tony Kemp batting. And Kemp soft serves one into the left. On comes Chu. Long run. He's going to get there. And Chavez has 3 pop-ups in this inning. And he's needed it to keep the runner at third base. Kemp retired. And he's 0 for 4 tonight.
I was kind of hoping Marwin would test him.
Now here's Jake Marisnik. Infield moves back with 2 outs. Jake takes a strike with a fastball. It's 0-1. Well, we were wondering if Brad Peacock might go 2 innings tonight, but Ken Giles is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Ground ball towards short. Astros don't take advantage of the 2-base error on a throw by Profar. Nice play by Guzman at first to end the inning. So the Astros fail to score, but still lead at 5-1 heading to the bottom of the ninth. And exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Astros are represented on this year's squad by voting at astros.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th on Fox. Astros trying to close out this first game of a 10-game road trip. 5-1 lead heading to the bottom half of the 9th inning, and Ken Giles is on.
4-run lead. Ken Giles is on. 10 for 10 in those save opportunities. This is not a save opportunity with that 5.21 ERA. This is an opportunity to work on some of the skills, get that fastball and slider going, and hopefully make it a nice clean outing for Kenny G.
He'll face 6, 7, and 8 in the Rangers lineup. Isaiah Kiner Falefa, Rougned Odor, and Ronald Guzman. Rangers scored in the first inning, had a couple of hits in that inning, had one more in the third. Garrett Cole did not allow a hit in the 4th, 5th, or 6th. They bunched up 3 hits in the 7th inning, and now they sit with 6 hits heading into the bottom half of the 9th inning. And a fastball at 99 from Ken Giles to start this 9th. And it's a called strike. Kiner Falefa lined out in his last at bat, hardest hit ball all night against Garrett Cole. Also struck out and grounded out. And there is a line drive base hit down the right field line and headed towards the corner. Springer waiting for it to come out of the corner, and Kiner Falefa has a leadoff double. Well, that's been the issue this year for Giles. Not a terrible pitch, but a hit down the right field line. He hasn't given up many walks, just 1 walk allowed, but the batting average against is uncharacteristic, coming in at .291.
Well, .291 overall, but also against that fastball coming into this game, .385 against the fastball.
Which doesn't correlate with 100 miles an hour.
Exactly, and there might be a couple of things. Again, I haven't faced Ken Giles. It seems as if it's easy to pick up, it's straight, but again, it's location too, because you can have a straight fastball at 98 to 100 miles an hour, but if you're able to dot that on the corners inside and out, you should be relatively successful. But it's to the extreme, those numbers.
Yep.
Because that doesn't make much sense. I'm with you. 98 to 100 miles an hour should not have a batting average against close to 400.
1-0 the count on Odor.
Because even I've said it, usually velocity increases that margin of error. You can get away with it sometimes.
There's a good slider for a strike. It's 1-1. Well, given his druthers, Giles would prefer the adrenaline of a save situation, and he has been much better in save opportunities, 10 for 10. But at the same time, AJ would like to see him get some outs here in this 4-run game. Pitched him in Cleveland in a 5-run game, and it started a tough inning for the Astros as they had a 5-run lead go away in that final game against the Indians. So even though it's not a save opportunity, you'd like to see a relatively clean inning now, especially after that leadoff double, and keep this game where it is. He's ahead of Odor, 1-2. And he gets them. Now they're going to say a little bit of a piece of that one. A little foul ball at the plate. Stassi couldn't quite hang on.
It's a good break on that slider going down. So you see a little deviation with that minimal contact. You know, it's interesting, too. We talk about mentalities of closers coming in those tight situations, facing hitters and making good pitches to get those 10 saves that Ken Giles has gotten to. But at the same time, it's a different mentality for hitters also. When you're facing a closer in closing situations, it's just as tense for the hitter. So in a situation where he comes in and it's, hey, we got nothing to lose. We're going to go on the attack because we're down by 4 or 5 runs. You're a little bit looser as a hitter and maybe ready to hit that fastball. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to explain maybe a mentality being different for the pitcher, which is easy to assume, but it's also different for the hitter.
Here's Ronald Guzman. Flied out deep to center field against Cole, and also walked and struck out against Will Harris. And he takes the pitch outside for a ball. There is nothing wrong with the velocity. Giles has consistently been in the upper 90s, not only tonight, but most of the season. Just missed the edge there at 98. It's 1-1. Oh, check that, 2-0. Leadoff double by Kiner Falefa. And Giles trying to close out this 5-1 lead. Three and 0.
That second pitch, pretty good pitch down, and then that pitch looked pretty good too. But we've seen some of the inconsistencies on the lower edge from DJ Rayburn throughout the course of this game.
There's a strike, 3-1. Robinson Chirinos has grabbed the bat. He will be on to pinch hit for Carlos Perez as the next hitter. 3-1 pitch grounded towards Altuve. Has to back up a little bit and make the play from shallow right. Guzman retired for out number 2.
Watch the Astros in more ways than ever before by downloading the new AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit AT&TSportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions do apply.
So 2 outs, Rangers down to their final hope, and now Robinson Chirinos will pinch hit for Carlos Perez. Chirinos, the regular catcher for the Rangers. Beginning of the year, Juan Centeno was the backup to Chirinos, and then Carlos Perez was acquired from the Atlanta Braves. Centeno was sent to the minor leagues, and now Chirinos still the #1 catcher. Takes a called strike. Giles puts the fastball on the edge at 98 miles an hour. Saw those numbers against the fastball. Chirinos 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Giles.
Yeah, an interesting place to pinch hit a guy. Chirinos is a high strikeout guy as far as percentage of the outs he does make, but really no opportunity other than to extend this ball game and maybe turn the lineup over for the Texas Rangers.
Rangers down to their final strike. Astros trying to close out this 5-1 game. First of 4 with the Rangers. Tomorrow will be Doug Fister against Justin Verlander. Astros have faced 6 out of 7 lefties, and they'll get 2 more lefties after Fister tomorrow. Mike Minor and Matt Moore the rest of the way. Swing and a foul in and out of the glove of Stassi.
Just barely.
Astros fans that are here at Globe Life Park in Arlington are standing behind the Houston dugout, looking for that final out. And it's hit hard to left field. Tony Kemp on the move, diving attempt, and they say trap. Kemp trapped that. Chirinos heading to second. He is safe at second. Kemp, a diving effort in left field, almost made a spectacular catch to end this game. Third base umpire Alfonso Marquez said it was a trap.
I think that's a pretty good call. Tony Kemp gave it a heck of an effort to try and end this ball game with that diving catch. Chirinos hit it hard. Good pitch to hit in a 2-strike count and laying out. You can see that short hop. And why not? If you go out there, you never know. Try and sell it. Tony Kemp did. He came up firing to second base. I thought if Marwin didn't cut that baseball, they might have had a chance to tag Chirinos out, trying to extend to second base.
Now Giles has to get Chu. Robinson Chirinos a pinch hit RBI double. And Chu takes the slider for a strike. Chu's been on base 3 times, a couple of hits and a walk. One and 1 the count. Hector Rondon came on last night for a 4-out save. AJ was not wanting to get him up in this game, but he's starting to warm up. Rondon faced 6 batters in that game against the Mariners last night. Now Giles again within 1 strike of ending this one. It's 1-2 on Chu. Mentioned his first AB. Chu can be a tough customer up there. Extended at bats. Been on base 23 straight games. Giles has thrown 22 pitches in this outing. If you're AJ Hinch, you prefer not to have that number get near 30. There he goes, swing and a miss, strikeout. Giles gets the final out of this game, and the Astros win it 5-2. Giles strikes out Shin-Soo Choo to end it, and the Astros have won the first game of their longest road trip of the year as they win 5-2 against their rivals, the Texas Rangers. Garrett Cole will get the win. Evan Gattis, one of the hitting stars, as the Astros win the first of 4. We'll have plenty more coming up, including the post-game show right around the corner.